We're going to pull the radiator
out. Can I do that?
I don't think you can.
Can I take the bolts out?
Yeah.
But why can't I pull the radiator out? Is that like it's heavy?
Well, it's not real heavy, but you got to lift it up, and so I don't think you can lift it up like that.
What bolts do they take? The sockets.
Not a 9/16.
Well, maybe it does. Just that's the wrong type.
No, 9/16 is a 9/16, buddy. Oop, that doesn't go there.
What? Oh, wrenches? Now there's a spider in here.
Yep,
already.
Spiders are good. Spiders catch mosquitoes.
They don't catch wasps or yellow jackets or bees, though.
I think they do sometimes. It just depends on the spider. If it's
That-
big enough.
That's just a normal spider, right?
It's just a garden spider.
I asked if I could keep them out.
I know, I'm just breaking them loose because you're so...
Can I do these ones on my own? Other than broken loose?
Watch out for that battery. Whoa! Watch out for that battery. Please.
Why? Why?
Disconnect that battery cable.
Why?
There's a spark there.
Because metal's touching it?
Because you're grounding it. Yeah, you need both hands and you need to hold it flat. Yeah, you're not holding it straight, dude.
Well, that's straight.
No, it's not.
There is no straight way when I'm facing this way. I'm not straight.
You're not?
And so is my mind. Now the bee's over my head.
There you go.
Stings hurt like heck. The yellow jackets.
No. Not really.
Do they hurt like normal bee stings? Do the bites hurt like heck? Oh.
I don't know. I think they... It's been a long time since I was stung.
Were you stung by yellow jackets as a kid?
Yeah.
Yellow jacket's still up there by me.
Yep. It's okay. It won't eat much.
It's not the fact that he's gonna bite me, it's the fact that he's gonna sting me. That's
Well, it
why,
only hurt for a minute.
so that's why I feel better going on this side.
Yeah, then he'll just follow you over. He likes you. You're his new best friend.
Heck, I'm gonna be a friend with a wasp or a yellow jacket.
You are?
he wanted to be if he even could talk and ask me to be a friend, I would think about saying yes. Can you please go on the ground, friend? And then I would stomp on him.
Oh my God, you're terrible.
It's not terrible when a wasp's there.
Straight up lie to him like that. Then he'd want a friend, and you'd be like, yeah, I'll be your friend, and oh, you're dead. I lied to you. That's not very nice.
He's a wasp, Dad.
Yeah? Hey, wasp lives matter.
No, they don't! I can't believe you're saying this.
Drooling on yourself?
No.
You sure?
I itch.
You itch. Get COVID?
The COVID doesn't have anything to do with being itchy.
How do you know? Are you a doctor?
You're not a doctor.
But I played one on TV last night.
What do you... You've played a doctor?
I played doctor many times, son.
As a kid?
Yep.
Be serious, have you?
No.
No? Not even with your sister?
What? What are you talking about?
Don't you have a sister?
No, I don't have a sister anymore.
When you were a kid!
Well, so much for that guy.
So much for what?
Sending unit. So you got no temperature gauge. So while you're pulling those bolts, okay, now look, I want you to look at something that you're doing right now. It doesn't matter that much because this radiator's junk anyway, but you see what you're doing? So you're letting the radiator flop up against the fan. It could put a hole in it, it could dent it, it could scratch it. So if you were working on something that you cared about or a customer's car, you'd have to buy them a radiator. That's why you should always do the bottom bolts first and then do the top bolts. Now some of the Chrysler products, the way they're designed is you loosen the bottom ones up a lot, then you take the top ones out, then you lift it up. You don't have to actually take the bottom ones all the way out. On some.
What are you doing?
Checking the sending unit. I suppose it doesn't matter now since it's broken, but I don't know if it's got a bad gauge or if it's got a bad sender.
Well, the radiator's junk, so I don't really have to care about this one.
Well, I've got ohmage, so that tells me that
I do need to
sender
care
works.
about this fan, though.
It's got a bad gauge, I think.
Has a bad what?
I think it's got a bad gauge. Add that to my list of parts to get.
Do you need tools for this? Do you need new tools?
No, not really. You need a tubing bender.
You need a what? Would you drive an Audi, Dad?
Not if I could help it.
I don't really even know what that means.
Because I don't want to drive an Audi.
But if you had to...
If I had to, I would. See, if you look at Luke, if you pick up on this thing a little bit, it'll make it a lot more loose because you got all the weight of the radiator pushing down on the bolt. Okay, tube and bender. I'll make a list of parts.
Are you gonna make a list of parts for him
Stuff I need to get.
when you're at work and you're leaving? Ow.
What? Pick up the radiator.
Why are you doing that?
There, now turn it.
I don't need you to do that.
So you can turn it by hand now, see? Okay. Now, I don't know if you happen to notice these things. Some kind of spacer. I don't know if that's factory. It looks like factory. It's kind of weird that it's got them.
Are you gonna keep them?
Well, they have to go in there with the new radiator, I think. It's like it's got a large opening, but a smaller radiator. This is not a factory core support.
What is this?
Hey, there's still a bolt down there you didn't get.
I know.
Okay, what about it? You go get it?
I don't want to.
Why?
I don't. I can tell that wasn't on Facebook.
No, that was a message.
Why is the bee still there? He's just staying there. Like a statue. Can't you see? Is he too cold? Did you get him?
Mm-hmm.
Is he flying around?
No. Go.
He's dead now?
Yep, it's down there somewhere. There's a woolly bear down there.
There is?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's woolly bears everywhere.
Yeah, I noticed they must have just hatched or something.
Like, what do you mean?
Well, because they're everywhere. They're all over the road. I've been running them over. Trying not to, but...
Of course, running over with your car?
Yeah, I mean, they're in the road. I'm not going to swerve to miss a caterpillar and risk wrecking the car.
You know how woolly bears, they're not like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. It's not so much of that because they're like, they're just super common caterpillars.
Okay. Well, they're not common everywhere.
Well, here they definitely are.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, remember that green caterpillar that I got?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. That was cool because that's something. That's a caterpillar that's super new. I mean, I'm not saying woolly bear caterpillars aren't cool. I think they're really cool, but it's just they're old. It's something new.
Okay. So you can see here, these brackets are broke loose. It's all beat up. What that dog's barking at.
Probably Mike.
And you can go bring me a couple more jack stands. Okay. Looks like it had a leak here somewhere. There's an empty bottle of bars, Alumaseal or whatever in there. It looks like it was leaking and running down here, maybe there. There. You see this has all been soldered up and pinched off. It's got a patch here in the tank. It's got another patch there, a really ugly patch. This whole edge is just all kinds of nasty. I don't think we can see, but you can definitely hear. Hear that? It's full of lime scale. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a perfectly fine justification for replacing it. Apparently he's got the new radiator down there, so I don't want to put that one in just yet. We'll go pick it up tomorrow.
We're just barking at some random stranger.
Okay, what's a random stranger doing?
Taking down the trash.
Okay, so it's not quite a random stranger, it's a neighbor.
No, really, it's like a stranger, but it's a neighbor. Just don't know.
Yeah. Okay, what is next? We can pull the thermostat housing. You want to pull that?
What?
There's 2 bolts here and there.
Okay.
What? Can you get it?
Can you loosen them up?
Can I loosen them up? Well, I can loosen one of them up. Let's see.
Why can you not loosen both of them?
Because one of them is actually behind the timing cover, which is the quickest, easiest way to tell whether it's a 302 or a 351.
You need a different...
¿Dónde está my half-inch? There it is.
There's a lot of paint chipping off of this.
I know. If you look at it closely, you can see 2 different colors on there.
I can. I can see that there's like this brown. Was that the factory color?
Well, if you look really close, there's another color under the brown. So the brown is not the factory color. And you'll find this a lot with... Hey, that's going to fall, dude.
So there's the brown. Wait a minute. Then there was a green, and it looks like there was a blue too. Maybe this car was a blue or a green.
Well, it's green. This car was not green.
Was it blue?
Well, it's blue. This car's original color was white.
White?
I think it was white. I gotta run the codes on it.
What do you mean?
Okay, a gear wrench is too big to fit in there. Where's my little thin? There it is. Little thin Taiwan. What is this thing? Drop forged. That's all it says. But it's nice because it's very thin and it fits in places. That hood was originally like a mint green, kind of brownish color, which I kind of like too.
Oh wait.
And then it was red when they put it on this car. This car's been wrecked, remember?
Yeah.
So they had to replace the hood, they had to replace the fender.
But there's blue over there.
It's blue on the hinge. I don't know why.
Looks like it's from a Cricket. I mean, not Cricket, Volvo. Like yours.
It's just blue. I don't know if somebody spray painted the hinge here or if it came off the car that they painted. So that hinges off yet another car. But you'll find that a lot on these old cars. The people have...
So this car's been wrecked.
Yep. Most old cars have been.
And what is this?
It's supposed to be a gasket.
It's not good anymore.
Nope, but we're going to leave it alone because it's not my car.
What? Well, you're supposed to be fixing it up.
Not restoring this car, buddy. That thing makes absolutely no difference whether or not it makes it across the country.
So all you're pretty much working on is the engine and stuff?
Drivetrain, we're going to try to, we got to make sure the heater works, we got to make sure the wipers work, all the lights work. Making sure that this car is safe and reliable. Reliable, safe, and legal in that order.
So legal's the last thing we have to do?
Well, yeah. In a roundabout way. It is legal though. It's all tagged and insured. It's got Haggerty insurance on it. Okay.
So it's pretty much just legal still?
It's legal.
Well, the lights all need to work.
Yes, they do.
Has to have good enough tires.
It's got brand new tires. Gotta go pick them up.
Are we gonna use those wheels?
Yep. I might have to spend some time and clean those. It's not really part of my thing, but I can't stand putting new tires on nasty looking wheels.
Just looks like you did a horrible job.
Half-assed.
I do that a lot.
What? Now look at this. Come here. I'm going to take you guys along too, because you should see this. Whoop. There we are. The perils of using too much RTV. I want you to see where the bypass hose goes, right there. Look at that. It's completely plugged off with silicone.
Which is bad.
That's very bad. Basically, you should never use silicone like that. You should use just enough of it to make the gasket sticky, and that's all you need.
Can we hook up the battery?
No. You need to hook it up. Safer to not have it hooked up. Okay, what do we got? I got some old school looking thermostat. Okay, 180.
That's all rusty water.
Yep.
Which is
They
bad.
did sit forever, remember? I don't see a brand. Or do I? might be one of those Mr. Gasket ones.
What? Those mystery?
Mr. Gasket is a brand. Old school brand they make.
I don't know what that is.
That's what?
Oh wait, that's a bee, but that's...
Okay, who's here?
Probably Mike. I don't know.
Some kind of a crystal. Maybe it's the stop leak. I don't know. Maybe it's aluminum.
I was right. Mike's coming over to bug us.
Okay. And you can see it's got some buildup in that thing right there because it wasn't flowing. We gotta scrape that gasket surface. Alrighty, so here is our nasty, rotten radiator again. We showed you the ugly patches and all the nastiness about it. This is the new one from CJ's Pony Parts. And from the look of it, it's pretty close to the factory style. I don't think it would pass for a concours restoration, but it's definitely nice. And it looks pretty much right. You can see 3-row, nice and clean copper brass. I couldn't tell you how much it costs, but it's probably darn sure better than the plastic aluminum one. You know, the general replacements they have these days. So this is going to go in now. We're going to build the cooler lines, get them lined up, then it'll come back out, and we'll get everything all installed with the shroud and all that stuff. I'll be back in a bit. The radiator is just sitting there. We've got cooler lines have been made. They are not the prettiest things in the world, but they work and work well. You've got at least 2 inches of clearance at the closest point of the headers, rather than where they were before, just laying on it. And you can see that's one of the old cooler lines right there. You can just see it kind of snaking off into every direction. It's a hard line from the radiator to the frame rail, and then these short hoses here between the hard line and the transmission. I also built a new hard line for the vacuum modulator, and I had to get a little creative with the hose back here to make that sharp bend without kinking. It should hold up. I think we're doing pretty good. Okay, so tomorrow's job is going to be to get the radiator put in, hoses, belts, shroud, all that hooked up, get the thermostat put in, get it all put together, get it back up and running. So I'll have to fix the exhaust. I got the pipe cut. I got the 2 inches cut out of it. I got to weld it back up. We have some Renflex collector gaskets that we're going to put in. I'll go ahead and show you those things when we do it. Okay, and once it's up and running, Matt should be coming over. I think, well, tomorrow I'll probably run the wheels and tires down and drop them off. Matt should probably be coming up here, and we'll seafoam it, and I'll get started on this turn signal switch. I got to finish up that one back brake. I'll do that tomorrow too. Yeah, I think we're getting closer to the end here. Just a bunch of little things. Those cooler lines were one of the biggest things. They were kind of tough. So that's where we're at for today. I need to get this thing done before I can work on Christy's Jeep, but I got to find an engine for it. So this has got to get out of here. I've only got about 3 weeks. If I don't get it done in time, then I'm going to screw up his entire move. So this has got to get done. So that's it for today, and we'll be back on it tomorrow. See you then. Okay, got the shroud on, got the radiator in, got it all buttoned back up, new thermostat. It's running. It's not running horrible, it's not running great either. As you can see, what's going on there, I need to get some seafoam down in the oil to try to help free that up. Now I had a hell of a time with the shroud. I don't know, maybe it's because this is a 3-row radiator, but it was hitting the fan. I had to go and bend the core support slightly out to make it clear, and I think it's good right now. Doesn't run terrible for sitting 15 years. According to the factory gauge, we've got, well, you can't even see that, can you? Let's see, there we go. We've got good oil pressure. I did test the temperature gauge, and the gauge itself works, but the sender's shot. I do have a new sender. We don't have a gas gauge working, or at least 5 gallons of gas didn't move it. Ammeter seems to work. Mufflers are probably just like stock mufflers or something. They're not real loud. The exhaust isn't welded up yet. I just have the pipe shoved into the other pipe. I just need to clean it, weld it, rub a little bit of that silicone, or not silicone, but ceramic sealer on there, and it should be okay. Now watch this. Right there. You'll see it'll smooth back out, and it still does it a little bit. Now what's going on there is the lifters are pumping up. Typically what causes that is either a weak valve spring, or the valves have pounded themselves up into the head to the point that there's not enough tension on the valve spring to overcome the hydraulic pressure in the lifter itself. But this being sitting for 15 years with that old gas in it, it's probably sticking slightly. So we're going to run the seafoam through the fuel system, the seafoam through the oil, and then I'm also going to do a hot seafoam treatment, and we'll see if that just doesn't fix it, you know, by itself. So for right now, I got the rear brakes in. I'm going to go ahead and throw some tranny fluid in it. We'll get that topped up. It does need a new radiator cap. This one does not hold pressure. So we will go from there. And that's got a new dipstick on order. We got a new battery tray on order. So far so good. I think everything's doing pretty damn good. We'll get started on that turn signal switch probably tonight. We'll go from there. See ya.